Yo, welcome back. Welcome back to another episode. Hope everybody's staying safe, especially for the people that's been affected by Hurricane Ian in Florida, also along the South Carolina and the North Carolina coast. Me, myself, I am from Louisiana, but I live in South Carolina, and currently we're having some effects from the storm, but having a lot of rain, just a little bit of wind, nothing too bad compared to what the good folks in Florida are experiencing. So the people in Florida who have been affected by this hurricane, you guys are in my thoughts and prayers. All right, so welcome back. Jumping right into the episode. I have not made an episode I haven't made an episode since the Florida State game. LSU lost that game. Don't want to talk about it too long, but I haven't made an episode since then. Got a little bit busy. I'm a parent and I have a full-time job, so I got a little bit busy. Wasn't able to make an episode for the Southern game or the Mississippi State game or the New Mexico game. But we're back for the Auburn game. All right, so LSU is going to be taking on Auburn tomorrow. The battle of two 3-1 teams. Although LSU is clearly the better team out of the two. Again, this this podcast is all about it's my opinions, but it's all about telling the truth. That 80-20% rule. 80%, I think, of our fan base of LSU is delusional, and the other 20% will hear the truth and also tells the truth. But I strongly believe that LSU is the better team. So both teams are 3-1. Let's jump right on into it, and let's just go ahead and see who played who. So starting off with Auburn, right? Auburn first game was versus Mercer. They won 46-16. TJ Finley had 112 passing yards. Then Auburn's next game was versus San Jose State, and they won 24-16. And then their third game was against Penn State, and they lost 41-12. And then their fourth game of the season was against Missouri, and they had to go all the way to overtime with Missouri, and they won 17-14. Now, as you can tell, Auburn drastically got worse as the competition got better. So again, they went against Mercer. They won 42-16. Okay, San Jose State is a way better team than Mercer, right? Not by much, but they're a way better team than Mercer, and they lost to Auburn 24-16. But then here comes number 22 Penn State from the Big Ten, and they blew Auburn's ass out of the water 41-12. And then Missouri came, an SEC opponent. And although Missouri is not as good this year, they're definitely better than San Jose State and Mercer. And Auburn had to go to overtime, which they won 17-14. All right, so let's go to see who LSU played. I know LSU played, but let's just go ahead and get facts. All right. So obviously we know LSU took its first L of the season at the beginning of the season versus Florida State, 24-23. LSU started off real slow in that game. In the second half, they made the necessary adjustments, and they got hot, but special teams bit us an ass. And then we played Southern. It's Southern. LSU blew them out of the water 65-17. And then we played Mississippi State, who is a better SEC opponent than Missouri, and LSU won 31-16. And then we played New Mexico, and we won 38-0. Now, when I started this episode, I said that LSU is clearly the better team out of both 3-1 teams, and based off who LSU played already, that's why I'm thinking LSU is the better team. I'm not trying to be a homer, but the proof is in the pudding. Florida State is undefeated, and so LSU lost to them by 1. And if LSU would actually not made so many mistakes in that game, they would have probably beat Florida State by 2 scores. But hey, got to wait till next year to get Florida State back. And then Southern, Southern is Southern. Southern would have lost to Mercer or to San Jose State. But I don't think that Missouri could beat Mississippi State. And I think New Mexico would also beat Mercer and San Jose State. But we don't know because I'm not looking at their schedules. Now, jumping into the stats, right? And we're using ESPN. Some of the key players for for Auburn is TJ Finley, who I heard is not playing in that game. I think he's hurt. Obviously, Tank Bugsby he's a force to be reckoned with. Javaris Johnson, Cam Riley is their top defensive threat. He's the linebacker, and then Javaris Johnson is the wide receiver, and then they got Derek Hall. And then for team stats, Auburn averages about 23 points per game. Total points scored the whole season have been 95 out of 4 games, and they got 12 touchdowns. Their third down efficiency is they're 16 out of 50, so not very efficient at all. That's about 32%, so a lot of 3 and outs for Auburn. They average about yards per attempt. They average 7 per 9, so not bad. They average about 200 yards per game. They got 2 passing touchdowns and 6 interceptions, so that's pretty trash. And pretty much all of their rushing touchdowns come on the ground, because remember I said Tank Bugsby, that dude's no slouch. They got 10 rushing touchdowns. So already we can see that if LSU wants to win this game, they're going to have to be focused on a run, especially with TJ Finley hurt and not playing. They're going to look even more so to run the ball to take some pressure off their backup quarterback. Total yards for Auburn's offense for the whole season is 1,507 yards. And they average about 29 minutes as of time of possession. Jumping into LSU stats. Let's see here. Okay. So, LSU, obviously we know who our top big dogs is on the team. You got old Jaden Daniels. I call him Slim Cam Newton. Jaden Daniels not only leads the team in passing yards, he's the starting quarterback, but he also leads the team in rushing yards with 262 rushing yards. Malik Neighbors, we all know Malik Neighbors had a really, really rough game versus Florida State, but he lead the team in receiving yards with 264. And then Harold Perkins, the true freshman who's been balling, has 20 solo tackles. And then you got Michael Baskerville, he has 1 interception. As your defensive leaders, Harold Perkins and Mekhi Baskerville. All right, and so Jaden Daniels, he has 835 passing yards on the season. His completion rate is 73%. That's really good. He averaged about 7.5 yards passing. So when he does drop back to pass, about 7.5 yards. Auburn has just a little bit more, 7.9, but hey, it is what it is. And he has, I just realized Jaden Daniels has been sacked a lot. He's been sacked 12 times this season. But he has 6 passing touchdowns and no interceptions. So he's very efficient with the ball, and he take care of the ball. Taking a little bit too many sacks, but remember versus Florida State, we were starting a true freshman, Will Campbell, at the tackle position. And that was that offensive line. That was the offensive line. First time ever playing together as a whole unit. So we had some returning starters, but obviously we had new starters on the offensive line. So it takes a little while for the offensive line to gel together. All together, between the two quarterbacks, is Garrett Nussmeier has played sparingly in the 4 games because LSU blew out Southern and blew out New Mexico State. So Nussmeier got in the game. And so those two quarterbacks combined, LSU have thrown for 1,153 yards. And then, let's see. Let's just do as a team. Let's see what LSU averages as a team. Okay, so already, I think Auburn averages 23 points per game. LSU averages 39.3 points a game. Let's see what their third down efficiency is. So LSU they have converted 25 third down attempts. So they're 25 of 51. So they're just a tick under 50%, which ideally you want to be 50% or greater, but they're still way better than Auburn at 49.2, and Auburn I think was at like 31 or something like that. So the proof's in the pudding. Fourth down efficiency, LSU has converted 5 of 8 attempts. So they've attempted to they went for it on fourth down 8 times in the season, and they have converted it 5 times. So their fourth down percentage is 62.5. That's pretty damn good. Have to see how it works out. I don't know if all of those fourth downs were against lesser competition, be it Southern or New Mexico, or whether is that spread out versus Florida State, the other 2 teams, Southern and New Mexico, and then also Mississippi State. Would have to deep dive into that. But so LSU has 7 passing touchdowns on the season, 2 interceptions. Both of those interceptions came from Gus Nussmeier. Rushing yards on the season, 795. So LSU's versus Auburn should crack the 1,000-yard mark as a team rushing. Obviously, Jayden Daniels, he leads the LSU backfield in rushing. But hopefully we can get some of the running backs more so involved, because when you run the quarterback a lot when you run the ball a lot with your quarterback, you open up your quarterback to unnecessary injuries. Jayden Daniels is not a big kid at all, so you definitely don't want him toting the rock so much. But you got guys like Noah Cain, you got John Emery Jr., and you also got Amani Goodwin, who I'm pretty sure Amani Goodwin leads the team, leads the running backs in scoring touchdowns. I would have to double check. But man, listen, if LSU want to be 4-1, which I strongly believe they're going to win this game, I'm telling the truth, they just got to keep doing what they've been doing. They just got to come out, and obviously the offensive line has gotten way better since the game versus Florida State, and the offensive line has to continue to gel. They have two true freshman tackles in Will Campbell and Emory Jones, right? 2 freshmen. Emory Jones, 6'6", 335 pounds, and he a freshman. Now, come on, man. And Will Campbell is 6'6", 225 pounds. No, I'm sorry. Will Campbell is 6'6", 325 pounds. Now, come on. These guys are true freshmen. And you think if they stay healthy, next year they're going to be 2 years into the system, right? They already have went through teams like A&M, Alabama, the who's who of the SEC, right? Then they're going to be sophomores next year. Man, I'm telling you, by the time Will Campbell and Emory Jones, blessed, they stay healthy, you're talking possibility of these guys are probably going to be All-Americans, like at least 2 of the 3 years or 4 years they stay at LSU. These guys are probably going to be All-Americans. So you got to be happy about, these 2 true freshman tackles. But, as long as LSU, the offensive line, as long as they can keep Jayden Daniels, clean in the pocket and give him time to throw the ball, to find those dynamic wide receivers, whether it's Malachi Neighbors, Jack Beach, Jerry Jenkins, or Brian Thomas Jr. Hey, and let's not forget about Mason Teller. You know what I mean? That kid's he's been balling out. Can't forget about him. But if they can keep Jayden Daniels clean in the pocket, and he can take his shots downfield, man, LSU should roll Auburn easily. Now, with that being said, like I said, Auburn also practices. They also have 5 stars and 4 stars on their defense. So it's not going to be an easy out like it was versus New Mexico State or Southern. But LSU should be able to get what they want on offense. Now, as far as LSU on defense, right, we've seen that Auburn likes to run the ball. Let me just make sure that he's not playing. Let's see. TJ Finley. Pretty sure he's out versus the LSU game. Yep. He's expected to miss the LSU game due to a shoulder sprain. Now, we all know LSU. Well, TJ Finley used to play for LSU. The kid has a big arm. A little bit of accuracy issues, but he's not playing versus LSU, so they're going to be playing their backup quarterback. And that means that they're probably going to be relying heavily on the run game with Tank Busby. And Tank Busby is, for lack of words, no B-I-T. And I'll let y'all finish spelling the rest of it. But he's no slouch, man. LSU going to have to, they're going to have to stick their nose in there and tackle. But I fully expect that defensive line to be up for the challenge. The defensive line has gotten better as the season went on. And the linebackers have also got better. Mike Jones, Harold Perkins Jr. We just gotta, they just gotta be ready to play. Cornerbacks, obviously the defensive backfield. Do I see Auburn challenging the defensive backfield very much? No. But, if they start gashing us in the run game and LSU is, freaking out trying to, stop the run, then obviously that's gonna set you up for play action or something over your head, and that can lead to a long touchdown pass down the field. So LSU just has to play a complete game on offense, defense, and special teams, and they should be able to beat Auburn. The stats say it for themselves. LSU is clearly the more efficient offense on the more efficient offense on offense compared to Auburn. Let's see. Let's just look at Auburn's defense really fast. Didn't look at the defense. Only showing the offense. Let's see. But yeah, so let's look up Auburn's defense. All right, so Auburn's defense for the 2022 season. Obviously, we know they're 3-1, 1-0 in the SEC. All right, I'm tired of looking for this, but yeah, I don't know who has the better defense. Auburn or LSU. I'm going to say LSU because we played against teams like we played against Florida State, who's undefeated. We played against Mississippi State, and anyone that watches football and know about Mike Leach's offense, you know that Mike Leach's offense is very dynamic. The air raid offense is very hard to stop, and LSU was able to pretty much shut them out after halftime after making necessary adjustments. So LSU just has to play a complete game to win this game and hopefully get to 4-1. They'll be 4-1 and 2-0 in SEC play, which is huge. But yeah, LSU gonna win. I'm gonna give my prediction. I'm gonna say LSU is probably gonna score. The game is probably gonna be, I'm gonna say 28-17. Yeah, I'm gonna say 28-17. LSU's gonna win 28-17. you know, Jaden Daniels probably going to have 2 touchdown passes, and then the rest is going to come on the ground, whether it's with his feet or with the running backs. Yeah, I'm going to say that way. No. I'm probably going to say, you know what? I'm going to say 35-17. And the only reason why I say that is because I believe LSU is going to get a couple of turnovers on defense, and they're going to give the offense a few more opportunities. So I'm going to say 35-17 LSU wins to move on to be 4-1, 2-0 in the SEC. And, you know, just going to continue to roll, continue to gel, and continue to get better for the next opponent on the schedule, which is LSU's next opponent is Tennessee, number 8 Tennessee. So yep, just hoping LSU don't get hurt versus Auburn. Everybody is safe. They come out in that game, and they, you know, Tennessee comes into Tiger Stadium, and we you know, we do what it do versus Tennessee. So as always, appreciate everyone who liked and commented on my last video. I know it was a little bit frustrating because I was frustrated LSU lost to Florida State, but hey, it is what it is. If you like this, you know, like this video, please comment, subscribe. I appreciate all the support. And hey, until next time, go Tigers.